You have found your way into the game room. Do you wish to enter? You know, it's been documented that 1 out of 3 ballerinas prefers to dress like this. Now look carefully. What do you think? I always loved to come in here. It was smart of you to do so as well. This room used to be so much fun. The professor used to throw lavish tea parties here. And guess what? He did all the baking himself. Scones, tea cakes. Just thinking about it is making my mouth water. He was indeed a man who wore many hats. Have you ever been in a jitterbug contest? No? Well, you don't know what you're missing until you've heard that music. You need a good mirror to study yourself in ballet. Of course, I was hoping someone else would be watching, but the professor always had his nose in some piece of paper or another. He'd even read all night until sunrise. Man. Did you think I was just here to chatter away? Then think again, because my words have a deeper meaning. Come on, listen carefully. Come on, step lively. I can pretty much see from here that we might have something in common. Are you a big Dr. Seuss fan too? I knew it! Listen, I don't want to get too, well, meaningful, but I'm starting to think we could have chemistry. Both hands on the keyboard, please. You know, I think there's a tag still in here. Oh, well, as our mother used to say, beauty knows no pain. Then again, she never had her legs waxed. I hope you understand by now that the professor wasn't always the way you saw him. He meant a lot more to me than you'd think at first. You know, one time the professor sent me a few little messages, and he told me they were from Clark Gable, and I believed him. Yes, he was capable of playing a few sly tricks from time to time. Not that I ever minded. Eat your heart out, Rita Hayworth. Don't you just love my version of PJs? I'm sure you'd like to take a closer look, but you'll just have to stay where you are. Hey, hey, hey. Careful where you put your drink down. You don't want to leave rings on the pool table. That would certainly spell disaster. What the? That's weird. What could this mean? It is the only game we play. We never win, come what may. How's about a friendly little game of 21? That's blackjack for those of you who don't get it. Just say the word. No? Then how about some 52 pickup? Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. House deals. What's that? You want to check the deck? You think I'm planning to cheat you? You'd better apologize right now, or we'll have a serious conflict on our hands. Bet you can't decide which game to try first. I'd tell you, but when it comes to competition, we ain't exactly on the same side. But I'll let you in on a little secret. The professor played whatever he felt like playing. Sometimes nothing is a real cool hand. I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I thought I'd make us a little snack. You set the table and I'll do the cooking. And I happen to be a great cook. You should try a slice of my angel food cake. Strawberries and... Let's eat. You devil, you. How sad the professor never had children. He would have made a heavenly father. He often yearned to hear the pitter-patter of little feet. But he always said, if one was to have children, one must be prepared to follow every step of parenting to the letter. Frankly, it's not such a tragedy, considering he believed in large families. Did you know he had 8 brothers and sisters? Was the professor a full professor? Associate? Emeritus? Does it matter what his title was? It's the record that counts. The professor was always critical about those who read planetary signs. But astrology is so popular, I'm afraid he may have offended a few people. I always told him, if you're going to mix in polite society, it helps to know the rules of the game. Greetings, citizens of this mortal plane. I don't think this was the professor's favorite room. He always had to do battle with the morning condensation. Still, despite what some believed, he was never defeated by it. It takes more than a little dew to unseat a real man. Amen to that. Not to sound too vain, but I hate the way I look in glasses, like a big moon-faced old owl. What can I do? I need them for reading. And believe me, if you spent enough time in there, you'd read everything you could find. Isn't it cozy in here? Sometimes I feel like I could linger in this room all day. It gets so messy in here. Just look at all of these papers. Well, I'm not picking them up, especially since the professor used to say, what was that thing he always used to say? Something like, the more things stay the same, the more they change? Was that it? There were so many times I had questions about my life, things I couldn't burden the professor with. So I'd curl up in here with the great work of literature. The old masters would invariably help me find my way. Shh, no talking aloud, so be quiet, will you? Believe me, I found out the hard way when the professor was still around. Believe me. Well, if he wanted absolute silence in here, why did he install that telephone? Wish I'd thought to confront him on that. The professor was a man of unusual qualities. He impressed many as being eccentric. They called him a character. Others found him to be witty and entertaining. But to me, it was all the same. He was my friend. Sometimes the professor seemed to regret that he didn't follow a more usual path in life. He thought he fell short in some ways, and whenever he'd get in one of these moods, he'd grow cold and distant. How I miss the old days. Things were different. I was different. What is it they say? Where are the snows of yesteryear? How true. But I suppose the only thing one can do is to do nothing. Rien à faire. You'll note that the professor made his mark. It was because he refused to be constrained by borders, and he was relentless. At times, he seemed possessed by his work. How long have you been in this room? Tut, tut. Just smell those flowers. Dahlia variabilis, Polymetus, Rosa Lawrenceana, and some I doubt even have names. I believe a garden says a lot about a person, if we'd only listen. Namaste. The professor used to expound on how the plant kingdom was a metaphor for the animal kingdom. But try as he might to make the translation, he failed to elucidate the listener. Ah, well. Namaste. The professor personally oversaw the landscape design. He saw just such a garden once in... Where was it? Braintree? Randolph. It might have been even further south. In fact, it's quite possible. Namaste. Isn't it glorious here? You know, the professor had some heart problems, so his doctor ordered him to relax. Boy, that was a tough transition for him. He was much more comfortable running around. Namaste. What are you, putting down roots? Good evening. How many in your party? Please count carefully and make certain the number reflects everyone, including you. Really? That many? Well, you'll just have to wait a moment. We'll have to make a few arrangements. Okay, that's it. I'm shelving the maitre d' act. I guess I better start thinking about my next career incarnation. Unless one of you is looking to worship a lovely woman. Personally, there's someone we can think of who's getting a little tired of wearing menswear. She wants to put her dresses back on, but they aren't ready. And as he would say, what you see is what you get. Many is the time the professor would sit here and compose passages of poetry. I wonder where he could have put... Of course, it's right here. Consider the charms of the nightly pull. Petition the lunar power till your will is full. Be ye caliph or be ye raver, this simple spell is not palaver. We have some specials on the menu, but I'm not sure I can see to read them. Not that I'd need to. I wonder if I could convey them telepathically. What hour be it? Methinks we are quite far from seeing the sun, at least as mine eyes rest on their perch. Perchance I be wrong, and the day is rising apace. The two are alike, but different. I have been harbored herein, treated as a most treasured prize. This I shall not forget.
Was that a cockroach? Ooh!
Since the fall of Rome, nowhere has it been so cold. My poor hands are as ice. Oh, if only my love were here to warm me. I shall continue to await the day when this can be. Most likely, 'twill not be until the Renaissance. What knave be thou who continues to pester one such as I? I'd give thee a most thorough tongue-lashing, had not my lord bid me remain civil. I cannot disobey, but would that I could get inside and away from thee. Perchance, good lords and ladies, you believe me to be of common stock. To this I say, let no man spurn what is beneath him. How can one balance on stiletto heels? The answer, of course, is that it's not possible. I have reason to believe there is a seat in the house that needs to be filled. You can't imagine how difficult it is for a star like me. No, make that an entire constellation. Well, I simply cannot keep up with all the fan mail from all you wonderful people out there in the dark. Why, that's strange. What is this? What can it mean? To shoot the moon atop Namibia, prepared to be led with dragged gait. The rest is blurry. I cannot read this. Props! I am big. It's the pictures that got small. No photographs, please. I could go on and on, believe me. You know, it's an interesting experience, seeing the world through someone else's eyes. My fans have been so fickle. One moment I'm a big, hot star, and there are millions of them. The next, I'm forgotten, and they've dwindled down to nothing in the blink of an eye. Too bad there isn't some kind of formula for success. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. Gannett. You have found your way into the library. Do you wish to enter? You have found your way into the bedroom. Do you wish to enter? You have found your way into the den. Do you wish to enter? You have found your way into the dining room. Do you wish to enter? You have found your way into the kitchen. Do you wish to enter? You have found your way into the garden. Do you wish to enter? You have found your way into the living room. Do you wish to enter? You have found your way into the cellar. Do you wish to enter? You have found your way into the attic. Do you wish to enter?
Oh why, does the horseman ride away?
I always loved to come in here. It was smart of you to do so as well. This room used to be so much fun. The professor used to throw lavish tea parties here. And guess what? He did all the baking himself. Scones, tea cakes. Just thinking about it is making my mouth water. He was indeed a man who wore many hats.
Which way will you go?
If you take away tea, you don't get her.
The first color in the rainbow.
Alice's God may speak to you.
The clue is itself. The second to the last is fulfilled within.
It's an article, one of great.
My little dancer, I know you well.
Here's looking at yous, kid.
Forget the 20. After all, it's really only 1/3 of an hour.
Five female sheep will aid you in your quest. The first one is the verb, not the noun. Read the story of the lovers.
Oh, crystal ball, where will you take me?
Make up your mind and just decide. Come on, join the fun. Join us.
Pulling me in, taking me over. My tempo exists as a channel.
The third planet in our solar system.
The third planet in our solar system.
The writing is on the wall.
You know, one time the professor sent me a few little messages, and he told me they were from Clark Gable. And I believed him. Yes, he was capable of playing a few sly tricks from time to time. Not that I ever minded. The metaphor equates two unequal ideas. Translate the French and listen carefully. Look at the ball, not the moves. I own these punctuation marks. I do. Artists, writers, and models all have this. The bugs in my head sound like a cat's food.
Listen up.
When you stay longer than you plan. Three men brought gifts to the party.
What a view!
It's not something that you're born with.
The previous trio possessed this.
If not forever, then tell me when.
Conjunction junction. What's your function?
It gets so messy in here. Just look at all of these papers. Well, I'm not picking them up, especially since the professor used to say, what was that thing he always used to say? Something like, the more things stay the same, the more they change? Was that it? Reverse your bathing place and gain a conjunction. Do not be so quick to make decisions based on the demands given you. Keep in mind, opportunities will present and fix themselves. There is always room and time to take notes. Make your mark for what you think everything equals. Do not be so quick to make decisions based on the demands given you. Keep in mind, opportunities will present and fix themselves.
Why does one look in the sky?
Cover regions unknown. Take the path that is fresh.
A pronoun, but not her.
Search the lower world to find the prime mover. Don't let borders imposed stand in your way. You'll figure it out.
You light up my life.
A dead scientist deep in a hole may help you. An alphabet for a lunatic and a king.
Seek, and ye shall find.
The investigation must be thorough before you can continue. Do not ignore what seems beneath you. The metal rises to the occasion where there is a need. It does not wage a war against itself. unselfishly like a work of art, making itself available for curious onlookers to see.
The Scarlet Letter.
She is the only one that would take it to heart.
There is no space in the window.
A wise man hears one word and understands two.
912 is the area code. Is that all?
Take the sum of 9, and so on.
Go ahead, take some.
Take the first of 9, and so on.
A total in this room is the fifth prime plus itself.
Why, that's strange. What is this? What can it mean? To shoot the moon atop Namibia, prepared to be led with Dragged Gate. The rest is blurry. I cannot read this! Props!
I'm filling up my tank with bait. This time I won't be late.
A total in this room is the fifth prime plus itself. A hexagon is a six-sided object.
Simple addition will do the trick.
After the lights and the camera. Don't worry, be happy.
It's not what we say. Talk is cheap.
Don't worry, be happy.
And I learned from yesterday.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. Gannett.
1, 20, 9, and 3. What do these mean to me?